So, of course, this is once again Sam Keola, the Wrestling Connoisseur. We got with us the future world champ, Allison.
Mm-hmm.
And we got over here the loose cannon. So, our video, for the purposes of this video today, is going to be focusing on AZW, or Action Zone Wrestling, that is on a couple islands away from us over on Oahu.
Yeah.
So, they recently had one of their pay-per-views, I guess you could say, or shows. And it featured a little-known wrestling family called the Von Erichs.
Who?
So the Von Erichs.
Von Erichs? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
The Von Erichs?
Yeah.
Sounds German.
I think that's what it is. Anyway, of course, they are the Von Erichs. I don't know if people know, the remaining Von Erichs actually live on Kauai.
That's right.
So Marshall and Ross.
If you're watching, we need a promotion on the Big Island.
Please. Anyway, the two of the Von Erich brothers, Marshall and Ross, are currently, at least for that show and the next show, they will be competing in Action Zone Wrestling over on Oahu.
It's really crazy. I mean, when you told me that the Von Erichs were going to be there, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Who is who's riding the coattails and calling themselves Von Erichs? What is this? But it's really the Von Erichs.
Yeah, it's like, that's the last of
I mean, it's not
the last of them is down. Sorry.
Yeah. But I mean, gosh, talk about memories from childhood with the Von Erichs and stuff. It's pretty cool.
So of course their last event was called Reckless Abandon. So that happened, I want to say, on the 24th of March. That was the day before Strong Style Evolved, so it was on the Saturday. And they had their main event, or I guess I should talk in sort of order. So the Von Erichs.
She's excited.
I am. I just like talking about Hawaiian wrestling. So the first tag team match that they had were the Von Erichs. That's, of course, Marshall and Ross versus Noah Kaho'omana and Chris Wilde, which I believe the Von Erichs should tell it they did that because, of course, they're the Von Erichs. The only other match I was able to get results of was the main event. So the main event put Serge Slayborn, one half of the, I was going to say the IWGP, the AZW tag team.
We were just talking about IWGP.
Yeah, one half of the AZW tag team champions, of course, Devil Slay, so Serge Slayborn, went up against Kaimana, the IWGP heavyweight champion, or not, the AZW heavyweight champion. One day you'll be IWGP heavyweight champion. I believe in you, Kaimana. But it was champion versus champion.
Yeah.
In sort of if Serge Slayborn won, he would be double champion.
I remember, not to diverge from this, but I remember when Samoa Joe came over to face Kaimana.
Yeah.
And I thought then, I was like, oh gosh, this is his big, he's going to break out from here. So I don't know if he just hasn't been booked across or...
Kaimana?
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. I think he has too much of a life over here.
Yeah, it's difficult.
That it's difficult for him to relocate.
Yeah.
So I think with Jeff Cobb, he was very lucky in that he got a couple of really good breaks as Mr. Athletic, and of course because he was a former Olympian as well. I mean, he competed at the Olympics in representing Guam. It's $1. Everyone's got a price for the future world champ.
I got a price
just
right here.
Shove it in your mouth.
That would be gross.
That would be gross.
No, I mean it is kind of difficult. I was talking to one of my friends who actually is starting a promotion.
Over on the mainland.
I can't remember the name of it at the moment, but
a lot
We
easier.
will plug that at some point. But yes, over in the mainland, and yeah, it was so much easier because you could fly people in to
Or you could
drive,
or you could drive.
paying in that area, and
It's a lot more affordable.
we would have to fly them in
Yeah.
unless they want to swim, which would be very
Or unless
far, and
they just
probably would
want to
never
take a
show up.
vacation, sort of like what Hard Knocks Harrington did when
Yeah.
he came back. Hard Knocks Harrington came back to visit people, and also had the match.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah,
And of
there's
course,
that.
he's,
So, I mean, I
he's
could totally
over on the
understand,
mainland again now, but
you know, but I definitely think if Kaimana was on the mainland, he would be booked all over the place.
oh yeah, super talented. But then that match ended up going also into a tag team match when Mark Anarchy and Dark Anarchy went in and interfered and sort of made it a tag team match. So it ended up being Kaimana and Serge Slayborn versus Mark Anarchy and Dark Anarchy, in which they were able to successfully fend them off, so to speak. But for their next pay-per-view or show, which is going to happen in May, Go for Broke, Mark Anarchy gets a chance to become double champion as well when Mark Anarchy and Dark Anarchy go up against the current AZW tag team champions. That is, of course, Bobby the Bolt and Serge Slayborn. And then later on in the night, Mark Anarchy gets a chance again at Kaimana's AZW Heavyweight Championship. So I really like how... And unfortunately, I haven't been able to watch too much of AZW outside of what is posted upon social media and what I hear from the couple of people that I follow and being friends with Serge Slayborn on Facebook, which is like my one claim to Mark fame.
It's difficult, and you wouldn't think so, us being in Hawaii, trying to keep up with a Hawaii promotion, but it's very difficult.
But it's because it's literally on a different island.
It's on a
so
different island.
It's not like we can drive a couple hours and go see it. We would have to book a flight.
And as far as I know, they're not on any local stations.
They used to be back when they were Hawaii Championship Wrestling. But
Was
as
that the
of
same
right now,
company, or is that they
they're
joined
similar.
and brought people?
So a
on?
lot of the people that are currently in AZW also competed
a lot of
in
them were, yeah.
Hawaii Championship Wrestling, notably Kaimana, Mark Anarchy.
But I remember being able to catch HCW on TV.
Well, that was, I think, when they had a little bit stronger of a deal as far as on the business side of things.
Well, I'm sure Don Morocco's name carries a little bit of weight.
Oh, well.
Yeah. There's that.
There's also that.
But yeah, it's very difficult to follow. I mean, you can catch some old matches on YouTube.
Yes.
But I've never.
And
been able to find
there
them
are
on
old matches even of back when they still had the NWA Hawaii championships, and that was with Polynesian Power Trip, which I want to say was Keola and Kaimana.
Could have been.
I know Kaimana was part of Polynesian Power Trip for a little while.
I remember the Samoan Hawaiian Island Tribe.
Yes. Unfortunately,
which was,
they are.
Kamana and Ativalu,
Yes.
who I think went to. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Wild Samoans. That's where he ended up. WXW.
I think you might be right.
It's what I do.
Be right about Hawaiian
Wrestling.
Well, I mean,
In general.
as like I feel like I have a little bit more of New Japan.
Yeah, I kind
now.
of got out of New Japan for a while. For a long time, I'd follow New Japan and All Japan, and a little bit of Zero One.
No, Noah.
And Noah, yeah. And then Noah started going, ugh, and I kind of quit watching.
This is a little bit of the Action Zone Wrestling. It is interesting to see. It seems like the Von Erichs might have a little bit
Curious.
more of a solid booking here.
Yeah.
I mean, they are
How old are they?
Marshall and Ross.
Yeah, this is the next generation.
Yes. So
Who was the girl? Do you remember? It was one of the Von Erich's daughters. She was in TNA for a little while.
I do not recall, but I'm pulling up information right now.
From the interwebs.
Present. Or it can not work and just freak out. That's cool too.
While she's doing that, I'll just say that I was a fan of the Texas Tornado when he was in WWF at the time. But what I was a really big fan of was later researching it and seeing his run against Ric Flair, for the NWA title. Those were good stuff. Much better than I thought his WWF run.
It does not mention anyone besides Ross and Marshall.
Oh.
In Kauai, no less.
Right. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. One of my friends bought
the
weight
name
training
value
sets from the Von Erichs.
Oh yeah. The name value is crazy.
Huge
alone.
enough. Yeah.
I mean, that'll bring hopefully a lot of attention to AZW. Yeah.
And of course, AZW, like we mentioned
At
before,
least until we get our promotion.
They do have a lot of people who have a lot of experience in the professional wrestling world. I mean, Kaimana and Mark Anarchy alone have been working on and off in pro wrestling for at least a decade.
Oh, if not more.
One of the people that I'm friends with, his name is Garrick. He wrestled for a long time in Hawaii Championship Wrestling as Keith and Hawk. Wow.
That's alright. That's where it goes.
There's all the pickleback.
That's where it goes.
To shellac your table. Yeah, so it'll be really cool to see sort of how the cards fall after this next AZW event. Go for broke, because I mean Mark Anarchy will be going for broke, and will either come out as double champion or completely destroyed. So we have yet to see.
I did watch.
Anyway, that is our very quick
We'd like to watch
review of AZW Reckless Abandon and our quick sort of prediction of AZW's Go for Broke.
And our little talk about the Von Erichs.
Yeah, who are currently fairly active in Action Zone Wrestling.
It's great.
It's pretty cool. Things are happening in Hawaii. WWE should come back, this year. Just do it.